away all that is no longer required. And we're going to give rise to something new, the creation, which is waiting. So that's what today is about. Really working with the summer solstice, the longest day, shining light, solar. Really working with the new moon, the darkness, the lunar, the duality that brings. And then the solar eclipse, the shadow covering the center of the moon, the bright light, the fire, all the way around, helping that to create. So we're going to breathe and bathe in these vibrations so that we can really birth this inside of us. Now, becoming really aware of the breath, let that settle. Let that marinate in your seeds, as in yourself. And we're just going to really come to our breath here. I'm going to breathe into the vibrations of these three energies. And we're not going to do it with fear. We're going to approach it with curiosity and a bit of adventure to see what that brings. As we then inhale our arms overhead and just stretch out from our fingertips to the tips of our toes. And then we're going to hug our knees to our chest. And we're just going to rock slowly from side to side. And then we're going to extend our legs out again in front of us, coming onto the floor. We're going to now draw the right leg into our bellies. And then we're going to draw the right arm overhead so that we're going to really just stretch out right through that right side. And then release. Let's take it onto the other side. Draw the left leg into the belly. Holding on with our right hand, let's draw the left arm behind us, stretching that out. And then release. Beautiful. Extend both legs to the earth. Now, just place the sole of the right foot next to the left knee. So we're just going to place the sole. Yes. Now let's take a twist over to the side. Beautiful. We're just going to twist over to the side. And then take the gaze to the opposite direction. Just waking up our body, waking up the spine. Let's come back to center and take it over to the other side. Beautiful. And then slowly release. Extend both legs out to the floor. And then now draw the right leg towards you and then point it, straighten the leg and point it to the sky. So straighten it. Take a hold of the back of the thigh or the back of the shin. Flex the foot and draw the ball of the foot away towards the sky. Now, as you draw the leg towards you, can you subtly draw the top of the thigh back? So it's like this kind of like resistance. The leg, you're drawing it towards you, but just the top of the thigh, and you'll find a subtle opening there. Beautiful. As we're going to work into a bit of a solar practice, I invite you to now just hover the left leg off the earth. Beautiful. Really point the ball of the foot away. Flex the foot. Take another breath. Then release. Let's change it over. So we're just going to extend both legs and then take the opposite leg, holding the back of the thigh or the back of the calf. Beautiful. And now, again, can you draw the ball of the foot to the sky? Draw the leg towards you, but can you draw the top of the thigh back? It's a subtle resistance. Beautiful. Really push the ball of the foot. Let's keep it really active. And then with that solar energy in your core, we're going to lift the other leg, just hover it off the earth. Really push through to the ball of the foot. Beautiful. Looking great, guys. And then slowly to release. And then slowly, let's all transition into a comfortable seat. So sit on a block, book, cushion, blanket, or whatever feels what you've got near you comfortable. Let's have our hips just rising above our knees. Coming to any comfortable pose. I'm in Siddhasana, you can be in cross-legged Sukhasana on your knees or legs out in front. And I think all of us can sit in some form of cross-legged here. Beautiful. So the mudra vinyasa that I want to work with today is beautiful. It's a prana mudra. So prana mudra is a really expressive mudra. So we're going to really, because we're working with the summer solstice, we're going to radiate out before we gather the energy in. So the prana mudra is we're just going to take our arms, and we're going to really just float them out, fingers are spread, and we're just going to arch back, so our chest lifts to the sky, and maybe take our eye gaze just slightly to the sky. So we're not really extending our necks back. Our neck is in line with our torso. We're just radiating like the sun, really finding the energy to express, to be open, and feel the energetic lines of creating space, our aura. Then as we exhale, let's bring the hands, we round the spine, we cross over the thumbs like our eagle hands, called Swabhava Mudra, and we're just going to bring it to our heart center. I'm going to slowly bow our heads. This is gathering the energy in. This is the lunar side. So we're going to, as we've got the dual energy this weekend, let's work with the dual energy with our mudra. Inhale, prana mudra. Let's extend. Can you feel the radiance, the glow, connecting the energy within? As you exhale, come into Swabhava Mudra, hooking the thumbs to your heart center, slowly start to bow. We beam, we radiate out in Prana Mudra. Find that real beautiful opening as we then gather the energy in to our heart center. Beautiful. Let's do it one more time. We embody the sun, feel the core power, feel the radiance of our inner sun. Exhaling back into Swabhava Mudra as we feel and just slightly bow. Beautiful. Let's together open the practice with one arm as we inhale. Let's take the Swabhava Mudra all the way out and radiating that out. Beautiful. And then we exhale into our arm. Staying in Swabhava Mudra, the eagle across the chest, the mudra that is so protective. It's the mudra that for me means I've got you. This is where perhaps you can set your sankalpa, your intention of what it is that you want to burn. Burn with the summer solstice, burn with that energy. And what is it that you want to create with the firing of the solar eclipse around the sun? So that's maybe coming up with your intention for your practice. What is it that you want to burn away? And what is it that you want to create? Beautiful. Slowly to release as we bring our hands back here down. So I'd like to open the practice with Kapalabhati breath. I think we know all how to do that. The skull shining breath. So the energy is on the outward breath, so the inward just happens naturally, and it's the pumping out action from your navel center. So it's really the energies on the pumping out. So perhaps we're just going to bring our hands to our thighs, and maybe we can even come into Ganan Mudra so that we can just really feel. So let's lengthen the spines, let's sit up tall, and we're just going to do it for 30 seconds or so. So it's not going to be a long practice. We just want to ignite the fire in our core so that we can, it's not because we're going to do a really hard practice, it's because we're just really feeling the solar energy that's going to be swirling around us as we practice. So if we all just take an inhale, exhale completely, and then to begin. Slowing it down. Everyone inhales. Hold the breath. Contract the Mula Bandha, the perineum. Draw the navel in and up. Slowly chin to chest in Jala Bandhara. So we're creating the energy. We've locked it into our body. Holding on to this. We're holding on the inhale. Release the head. Release the locks. Exhale completely. Inhale again. Contract the navel. Contract the Muladhara, the perineum. Navel in and up, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha, chin to chest. Hold the energy. Hold at the top of the inhale. Release the neck. Release the bandhas and exhale completely. We'll do one more round. You can keep your hands here. I'm going to invite you to bring your hands up in a V. I'm going to invite you to perhaps have your thumbs pointing to the sky. This is going to be just a bit more intense. I'm going to just breathe again in Kapalabhati for another 30 seconds. So let's all take an inhale first. Exhale completely. Inhale to begin. Release. Keep your arms in the sky. Inhale. Exhale completely. On the out breath, contract the Muladhara Bandha. Contract the Uddiyana, navel in and up. Chin to chest, Jalandhara. Holding the energy on the out breath in the torso. Really locking that in. Slowly lift the head. As we let go of the locks, inhale. Exhale completely. Inhale again. Exhale completely. Hold the out breath. Let's lock the bandhas. Muladhara, Uddiyana, Jalandhara. Let's put the chest down. Sorry, chin to chest. Hold on the out breath. Locking the energy in. Lift the head. Release the bandhas. Inhale. Release the hands. Beautiful. Let's take whatever seat we have and let's all come onto all fours. Gorgeous. I'm going to now teach you the connecting vinyasa, which is also beautiful. We're not going to do it all the time today. We're just going to do it 2 or 3 times, but it's so beautiful. So first of all, we're going to come sit back in child's pose. And we're just going to take our hands. Let's do a wide child's pose. So knees to the edge of the mat. Let's take our hands forward. Just bring our forehead to the earth. Just really finding and connecting to our breath. Then we round the spine into all fours. We extend the hands and come down and melt the heart to the earth in Anahatasana puppy dog pose. Finding the melting of the heart to the earth, wrapping the angel wings, firm those hips in. Beautiful. And then we release, we come and walk our hands. So we're standing on our knees. We're going to tuck the toes so that we're in a version of Ustrasana, camel pose. And we're going to radiate out with our prana mudra. And we're going to take the mudra and we're going to start to arch back. But we're not going to go all the way back. We're just going to radiate our chest to the sky. And then we're going to start to gather the energy as we bring the mudra to our heart center and start to bow. And then we're going to take the mudra and we're going to prana mudra. Let's radiate the energy lines out. Let's start to arch back, fall back in our version of the camel. And then we gather that energy and bring it back to our heart center, bowing the heads to our hearts. One more. Let's take that prana mudra all the way back and out. Find that opening in your heart centers. And then slowly we start to sit down, back onto our heels in our prana mudra, in our Svabhava mudra, And then we come back into child's pose, bringing our heads to the earth. Beautiful. Let's just do that one more time. So we round the spine onto all fours, extend the arms out. Let's melt the hearts to the earth, come into Anahatasana puppy dog pose. Firm those hips in. Can you really find another, maybe just see if you can just one more breath, if you can really just come down one another few millimeters, opening the back of the heart center, and then slowly walk your hands to stand on your knees. Bring your hands out to your heart. Radiate in Prana Mudra here. See if we can really radiate our hearts to the sky. As we exhale, we sit down. We come into Swabhava and we really just bring our chin to the chest. As we rise, let's rise together. Let's really embrace the sun, the energy of the sky, the solar energy as we start to gather, bringing that energy inwards. Let's honor the moon, the luna, as we bring our chin to our chest one more time. Let's all rise and really gather and radiate out. Beautiful. And then slowly we come back down to our knees. Again, the hands to our chest as we come into Swabhava. And then let's all come back into child's pose. Beautiful. Take a moment here, gather the energy, connect to the earth. And we're going to move slowly so that we can really feel each of these movements like a body prayer, like a moving meditation. And then slowly, let's come onto all fours. Let's tuck our toes. And then let's rise into our first downward facing dog. And again here, let's make sure that we really have a strong foundation. Bending the knees, drawing the tops of the thighs back, really seeing if we can bring our heels to the floor. But it's not about that. It's about taking our seat and our hips high in the sky. Can we roll the biceps out? Can we roll the forearms in? Ground the knuckles, roll over the toes, come into your first high plank, draw the heels back. Really navel to spine, head is in line with the torso, rolling back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Let's do that again. Again, let's come into high plank. And again, you can drop your knees, but I think all of us are going to be flowing together as we roll our toes back into downward facing dog. Let's bring our feet to the middle, toes to touch, ground the left foot to the earth. Inhale the right leg to the sky, really push back with the ball of the foot. Right hip slightly draws down, curling, coiling in as we bring knee to chest, stepping the foot wide. So step the right foot wide and bring, as we start to bring the left knee down. Beautiful. And we start to rise in our low lunge. Maybe we start to walk the back leg back a little before we rise. And then we can untuck our toes. So we've got this beautiful, deep, low lunge. And then let's radiate out in Prana Mudra. Let's find the energy of the sun as we then honor the moon, bringing the hands to your ego, to your heart center, bowing the head. Inhaling. Let's really gather, let's really call on that radiance as we then start to bow to our heart center. Let's do one more without words. Feel it, embody it. Beautiful. Let's plant the left hand, but take it wide across to the left, spread the fingers. Now, you can either keep your back knee down or let's lift the back knee and let's just take a side twist over to the right. And let's take the head back. Can we take the arm back? Can we press into that left hand? Can we really take it back? Maybe your right foot is at 45-degree angle turning out so that you've got more space. Take the head back even more. Go back completely. See if you can really open up to the sky. And then slowly to release, bring your hands back to center. Your right foot points to the front of the room again. And then we're going to walk our hands. You can drop the back knee at any time. Walk your hands opposite. Coming onto the pads of your fingers, bending the elbows and bow in your pranam. Bow to the earth. Bowing to the energy of the earth so that we can really find the energy to welcome the sun. Really finding your moment of devotion. Slowly walking your hands back to center and sweeping the legs back into downward facing dog. Coming down onto your knees, sitting back on your heels in child's pose. Rounding the spine as we come onto all fours, extend the hands, Anahatasana, melting the heart to the earth. Beautiful. Wrapping those angel wings behind you as you walk your hands back, standing on your knees in Ustrasana, getting ready for Ustrasana as we radiate out with Prana Mudra. Find and see if you can go even deeper in your back bend. And then slowly gather the energy as you sit down onto your heels, honoring that space. Exhale, rise together as we expand and radiate to the sky. As we then exhale, again bringing the eagle to our heart centers, bowing our heads. One more. Let's radiate out, really finding that as a moving meditation, coming back to what it is that you want to burn. What is it that you want to melt? What is it that you want to create? Beautiful. And then slowly walking back down into child's pose, just taking a breath here. And then back onto all fours, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Let's bring the feet to the middle, ground the right foot, left leg. Let's lift that with our breath. And let's just really draw the ball of the foot away, really lengthening that out. Coiling the knee to the chest, navel to spine as you step forward and bring the foot out wide. And again, here we drop the back knee, walk the back leg further behind as we come into our low lunge. Firm that left hip in. Hands, let's Prana Mudra, let's expand, radiate the energy all the way out. And then slowly exhale and bow. Inhale, finding how it feels for you. Exhale, bowing. Beautiful. And then one more, we exhale. It's almost like you're creating an aura of protection. You're creating your sphere, your space, your boundaries. Beautiful. Let's draw, the right hand comes to the earth, spread the fingers. Let's take it out towards the right. You can keep the back knee on the floor, or we can lift it and we can come into a side twist on the left. Now take your head back. Take your heart back. Can you take your arm back? Can you and maybe your left foot is a 45-degree angle pointing out so that you've got more space. Can you go back? Can you go back even more? Beautiful. Slowly bring both hands to the earth. Left foot points to the front. Walk your hands to the opposite direction. You can always put the back knee down at any stage. Firm that left hip in. Onto the finger pads, arms are straight. Now bend the elbows and bow, bow to the earth. Beautiful. And then slowly come back to center. Let's sweep back into downward facing dog. Coming down to our knees in child's pose. Finding the breath here. Rounding the spine onto all fours. Let's extend the arms into puppy dog. Anahatasana, really melt the heart to the earth. This time you might even be able to bring your forehead, maybe your nose, maybe your chin to the earth. And with every exhale, can you go that 1 millimeter deeper? Then slowly start to walk your hands back, coming into preparation for Ustrasana, as we then take our arms and radiate all the way out. Beautiful. Exhale, sitting down on our heels as we come into Swabhava, our Luna, our heart center. And then let's rise together and radiate the energy to the sun, welcoming the longest day. so that we can really shine light to where we need it, to where we need the healing. And then we rise one more time. We radiate that energy all the way out. And then slowly, let's sit back down. Beautiful. And then coming back into child's pose and finding the energy here, the rest. Because everything that we need to do, I think one of the things we found that we always need to come back to rest and digest, no matter where we are, no matter what solar we're feeling. This will bring us back to almost, it will ground us and anchor us to help us make the decisions and the transitions that we need to make. Beautiful. Let's come back into all fours. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Gorgeous. Here, we're going to just take a moment here. Let's all bend the knees, and then let's swivel our feet over to the right, bend the knees, and really stretch into your downward facing dog. Then come back to center, swivel your feet over to the left, and bend the knees. And see if you can really find that gorgeous opening right on the left side of your body. And let's do that one more time on either side. Swivel your feet to the right, bend the knees. See if you can bring your seat as close as possible to the earth. And one more on the other side. Again, let's swivel our feet, bend the knees, and bring our seat as close as possible to. This is such a lovely deep stretch as we're waking our body up. And then let's bring our feet to the center, toes to touch, ground the left foot to the earth, right foot. Let's really just take that behind us. Let's point and take the ball of the foot behind. Really lengthen that out. Right hip slightly comes down. As we coil in. Beautiful. And then step the right foot. Again, now let's bring the left knee to the earth. Gorgeous. Now, can we all start to stretch so that our right knee is in line with our toes, not our ankle. So we're really finding that beautiful stretch. So our knee is in line with our toes. We're coming into a proper Anjaneyasana pose here. Maybe we can even walk the back knee back a little so that we're really finding that deep, deep, deep stretch in our right hip flexor. Firm that right hip in. And as we take our hands, we're going to interlace them behind us. And we're going to draw the collarbones forward. We're going to really draw the shoulders behind us. And we're going to arch up. I'm going to come into Anjaneyasana with our back bend. And draw the arms away from you. Can you arch, taking your heart to the sky? Head is in line with your torso. Take another breath here. Beautiful, really working slowly. Hands to the earth. I'm shaking it up here. So downward facing dog is our transition here. So let's all step back into downward facing dog. Take a breath. Let's take 3 breaths here. We draw the hips to the sky. And then bring the feet back to the center. We're going to draw the right heel to the earth, left leg lifts. Really breathe that behind you, ball of the foot to the back of the room, left hip slightly down as you really press that back. Coil, knee to chest, step the left foot to the earth, right knee comes down. And again, walk that right leg back a bit. So this time we're going to bring our left knee in line with the left toe. So it's kind of like on a diagonal, so that we're really working into our left hip flex, the left hip firms in. I'm going to come into Anjaneyasana on our left side. So we're going to take our arms behind. Can you take an alternate grip? It will feel like you're holding somebody else's hand. It feels a bit weird, but actually it's good to have your non-dominant grip. Let's now roll the shoulders back. Let your angel wings meet at the back of your spine. Let's take the collarbones wide. Let's take the heart to the sky. Can you really arch back? Can you sit further into that hip? Really find the beautiful opening here. And then hands down to the earth. Step back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Let's now take another 3 breaths here. We're working slow, but we're building up heat and energy. as we're moving together. Beautiful. Bringing the feet to the center. Ground the left foot to the earth, right foot lifts. Draw the ball of the foot back. Coil, knee to chest. And then step the right foot to the top of the mat. Let's move the right foot to the right, left foot to the left, as we then rise in our crescent lunge. And you can always come down into Anjali-asana with your knee on the floor if that feels better. Beautiful. Let's draw the top of the thigh back. The right hip comes down, so we're strong. And then we're going to do Anjali-asana with our, as we rise. So take the hands behind, come back to your dominant grip. Really roll the shoulders back. And can you find your version of the back bend here? Draw the arms away from you, draw them down as you really lift your heart to the sky. Take another deep breath here, really sit down in that bent leg, find the gorgeous opening, and then hands back down to the earth. Step back, downward facing dog, 3 breaths here. Really find your alignment. Really raise your hips to the sky. Draw the tops of your thighs back. Really ground your knuckles. And then bring your feet to the middle. Ground the right leg. Left leg lifts. Draw the ball of the foot to the back of the room. Left hip slowly comes down. Coiling the knee to the chest. Stepping the left foot to the ground. Move it over to the left. Right foot to the right. And then slowly rise in your crescent, in your high lunge. Beautiful. Firm the top of the right thigh back, left hip. Let's really bring that down and back so that we've got this beautiful alignment. Let's take our arms, sweep them behind you. Let's take the non-dominant grip, so just move your fingers along as we really stretch back and we start to rise, arch back and feel yourself sitting into that bent knee. Really draw the shoulders behind you. Find the opening in your chest. Radiate out into the sun. Find your version of your back bend here. Take another deep breath. And then slowly, hands to the earth. Step back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Maybe you want to come down to child's pose. You can come down to child's pose. Wherever you are, we're just going to have 3 breaths. Beautiful. And then we bring our feet to the center. Ground the left foot to the earth, right foot lifts. Really push the ball of the foot to the back of the room. Coiling in, knee to chest. Step the right foot to the top of the mat. Left knee comes down as we rise. So the knee is now in line with the ankle again. Beautiful. So here it's going to be quite a deep back bend. So if you have a prop, you can bring a prop like a block or a brick or a book closer towards you. The other thing is you can also tuck the back of tuck your toes. And we're going to just keep both hands on the right knee. And then we're going to release the left hand. We're going to inhale the left arm up and back and see if you can take a hold of your ankle at the back. So you're holding on to, you've got your fingers on your ankle and you've got your right hand on your right knee. And maybe this is where you stay. But maybe you'll draw the right arm up and cradle your head. So now can you sit further into that right hip flexor? Now can you take your gaze, your heart to the sky? Can you find the opening as we're in our deep back bend here? And maybe take the elbow out to the side. Find that your version of what works for you. Take another deep breath and then slowly hands back to center as we then sweep back into downward facing dog. Your choice. 3 breaths here or in child's pose or your vinyasa, your chaturanga dandasana or upward facing dog, whichever you would like to practice. Maybe you need to rest. Maybe you need to be still. Maybe you still need to flow. Beautiful. Let's do that on the other side. Bring our feet to the center. Ground the right foot. Inhale the left foot to the sky. Push through to the ball of the foot. Left hip slowly starts to come down a little so that your pelvis is in alignment. Coil through, knee to chest. Now drop the step the left foot. Drop the right knee to the earth. Again, rise in your low lunge. Back foot can be tucked. You can actually untuck your back foot depending on how deep you want to go in your back bend. Both hands onto the left knee. Take a breath here. Then you sweep the right arm up, forward and back, and see if we can take a hold of our heel. And then we're already in a version of a back bend here. Maybe this is enough for us today. Maybe we're going to lift the left hand and cradle the back of our heads. We're going to take our hearts to the sky. We're going to take our gaze to the sky. We're going to draw the elbow out to the side and find that deep opening. Maybe we're going to sit further into the front knee. Find that beautiful stretch and take another deep breath. Find your version of the back bend and then slowly to release. Sweep back into downward facing dog. Your choice. Child's pose, stillness in downward facing dog, or your vinyasa. Whichever you feel you need right now. Beautiful. And then slowly walk your hands back to your feet. Let's come in Uttanasana. So my feet are parallel, the hip distance apart, they're facing the front. And I'm just gonna maybe bring my palms of my hands to the earth, or I'm gonna just hold onto my elbows and swing from side to side. Or I'm just gonna bend one knee or bend the other knee, whichever feels really good for you, because it's kind of it's our first kind of standing forward fold. So what feels good for you right now? Gorgeous. Hands to the hips and slowly rise together into Tadasana. Beautiful. Let's all come and face me, face the front. And as you know, I love this pose so much because I do it virtually in every class. We're going to come into our goddess pose. So 3 feet apart. We're going to have our feet pointing outwards. And we're going to really sit down and see where our knees are. If you can't see our toes, go a little wider. Really lengthen here. So my navel is to the back of my spine and my tailbone is lengthened down. My spine is straight. Beautiful. And here, let's move in our moving meditation. I'm going to come into our prana mudra. So we're going to come to our hearts and then we're going to radiate out. And we're going to take our arch back and we're going to really look up and see the sun. Although I'm in the room right now, but you know what I mean. So visualize the sun beaming down on you. Exhale. Let's bend the knees even more as we come into Swabhava Mudra. Exhale. Can we arch back? Finding the glow, the energy. Visualize that. Maybe even close your eyes. Exhale. Let's come into our Swabhava as we bring our chin to chest. Again, radiate that out all the way out, creating our energy sphere of protection, our space, our aura, our boundaries. As we exhale, bring that back in. Let's do that one more time. Beautiful. Let's take that energy all the way out. And then slowly, legs rise, bow our heads, heel to our feet, to the earth. Right, so this is a time I'm going to ask you to put on your Spotify playlist. And whilst it's playing, I'll talk you through the next flow. I'm just going to put it on very low so that I can keep in track with the time. So hopefully it's not going to interfere with interfere with my voice. Beautiful. It's a beautiful chant by Veronique Dumont, and she's chanting Om Namo Bhagavate, and it's just honoring the divine that's in you. So hopefully you can't hear mine. Let's all come to the back of our mats. Feet are hip distance apart. They're parallel. Let's ground the toes and come into Tadasana. Let the mantra start to really digest and circulate in your body. And we're going to come into our full pranams, prostrations, Dandavat, flow. And I'm going to give you options so that you can start to flow how it feels good for your body. And this pranam practice is such it's our moving devotion, and it really is, once you kind of really get into the vibe of it, it really helps to burn and melt away that stuff. I've been doing this practice for about a year now, and I can't tell you the shifts it helps me personally to bring into my life. So I just want to share this with you if this can help you in any way with your journeys. So as we come into our Tadasana, let's bring our hands and let's come into Prana Mudra. Beautiful. Let's slightly bend our knees here, radiate through the sun, and then come into Svabhava as we straighten our legs and bow. Inhale, radiate out. Find the beautiful energy. Visualize that as you exhale. One more. Beautiful. Let's take that all the way out. And then slowly bring that back in. Inhale your hands overhead. Come into Jaya Mudra, just the fingertips to touch. Beautiful. And last week we did Pranam Mudra Vinyasa, so we're going to do that here. We're going to bring our hands into our triangle, index finger and thumb. The rest of the fingers are in line with the index finger. We're going to bend our knees as we bring that all the way down into our Malasana squat and pull forward. Exhale, involute the hands, back to prayer, back to Jaya Mudra. Top of our heads. Come back into your triangle, your Trikona. Gather that into the central channel as you bend the knees. Come into your Malasana squat. Beautiful. Let's come back up one more time. Beautiful. Jaya Mudra. Bending the knees, come into your triangle, right down to your navel center. Past that as you bend the knees into your Malasana squat. Now walk your hands all the way forward and come into full pranam on the floor. Full pranam. You can have your hands in prayer to the earth, or you can bend your elbows and take your prayer to the sky. Your choice, your practice. We're going to bring our hands to our chest. We're going to peel ourselves back and straight into standing. Convolute the hands, Jaya Mudra at the top. Hands in Jaya. Let's come back into our Trikona. Bending the knees, sliding forward all the way into our full pranam, our full prostrations. Untuck the toes. Take your prayer wherever it needs to go. Hands back to chest. Let's rise together, heels, feet to heels as we rise all the way to the top. Take the mudra up. Let this be your moving meditation as you bring the triangle all the way down, bending the knees, sliding that all the way over across your mat. Beautiful. Let's take the prayer either in front or to the sky. Let the mantra move you as you bring your hands to your chest. Peel back, stand with strength, conviction as you bring your hands back, and let's all flow together. I'm going to go quiet so that we can all flow in our moving meditation. And you can go as fast or as slow as you want. You can stay in full pranam. You can carry on and just do the mudra and standing. But there are some real shifts that can happen when you start to move in this way. When you start to move in your moving meditation. When you start to really embody the mudra. Embody the devotional aspect of prayer to the earth and to the sky. It's almost like you're manifesting your intentions. Let's keep flowing together in our pranam practice. Really finding, I'm going slow because I feel it more intensely the slower I go. It almost feels so meditative. Let's keep flowing together. And just for a few rounds, I'll go quiet so that you can really enter the space. Maybe you can even close your eyes. Your practice keep flowing. Find the energy to keep flowing in your practice. Allow the movement to guide you to be your dedication. Flowing together as a tribe. Manifesting the energy. Visualize that eclipse. Visualize that darkness of the sun when the moon shadows it. What is it that you want to burn with the ring of fire all the way around the sun with the solar eclipse? What new do you want to create? What do you want to rebirth? We're at such a tipping point astrologically. We're made of mostly water, so we can flow with this energy. Keep going. Keep going. If you get tired, you can stop in pranam. You can take a rest. Gathering your energy, making your prayer. Or you can keep going and keep flowing, burning away the things that no longer serve you. The things that you no longer need, the things that you've been already trying to burn over the last 3 months or more during this potent time, this potent energy. Finding your voice, setting your boundaries with your aura of protection, with your prana mudra. It's a shield all the way around you. Keep flowing. It's a powerful practice, this pranams. It's like a real prayer of devotion. Keep going. We're nearly there. Couple more minutes. And if it feels that your knees are not happy, you can do it seated. You can just do any form of pranam seated. So you can sit on your heels. Bring the triangle down and just pull forward in child's pose. Your practice, if you want to bring it down, bring it down. If you've got juice, keep going, keep flowing in your full Dandavat pranams. It's your practice. You are in charge of yourself, no one else. What is it that you need right now? Flowing together as a tribe. Your moving meditation. Let's do 3 more together, wherever you are. Whether you're doing them sitting down, whether you're doing them standing or whether you're just lying in full pranam. We're all going to meet on the floor in our pranam as we take the journey of the last one. Beautiful. Taking the journey. And then all coming down when you're ready onto the last one, onto the floor. Hands either in prayer in front, or you can bring them to your third eye, or you can take the prayer, bending the elbows above to the sky. Allowing the mantra to really revolve in your body. Allowing the movement to really resonate through. Finding space here just to be you, your authentic self. Slowly bring your hands to your chest, peel yourselves back, bring your knees mat distance apart, toes to touch, and come into a wide child's pose. Beautiful. Arms out in front. Just find a moment of just stillness so that we can really resonate that practice, that real devotion. And then walking your hands over to the right. Let's stretch over the right leg. Keep the left sit bone to the heel, to the floor. And finding that gorgeous stretch along the left side of your body, opening the intercostal muscles on the side. Then let's walk your hands over to the other side. Beautiful. Feel the freedom to change by staying steady. Feel the freedom to change by staying steady. Come back to the center. Beautiful. And then slowly rise. And let's come onto our knees. And let's take our camel pose. Let's take our Ustrasana. We've been really building up to this, so let's come into our deep back bend. And here, we're going to come into it with Prana Mudra. So you can either tuck your toes or you can put your feet flat onto the earth. Bring our hands to prayer at heart center, gathering the energy. Inhale, take the arms wide in Prana Mudra. And see if you can really bring yourselves back. Exhale, sitting back down. Svabhava Mudra, chest to chin. Inhale, Prana Mudra. Really find the opening. Can you go back a little bit more? Exhale, sitting back on your heels. Svabhava Mudra. One more. Let's really radiate everything we have left. Visualize the longest day of the year. It's coming. And maybe this is a practice that you can do in the morning. As we exhale, hands down. Let's come and stand back on our knees. You can keep the toes tucked or flat. And we're just gonna radiate the arms up and back and find our heels to come into the full expression of Ustrasana, camel pose. Can you draw the thighs and your pelvis to the front of the room? Can you find the beautiful opening in your chest? Keep your head in line with your torso so that it's protected and safe. And can you bring and draw the thighs further to the front of the room? Find your deepest version of the back bend. And then slowly to release. Come sit down on your heels. Take a moment. And this can bring up a bit of emotion or a bit of dizziness or lightheadedness. But we've really been opening ourselves so that we can go into it deeply. Let's bring our seat down to the left, swing the legs out in front, come to the tops of the mats, feet are parallel, hip distance apart. Let's bring our hands over and round our spines. One exhale, all the way down, count to 8, so that we're still using our core, and start to draw yourselves back, all the way back, so that you come to lie on the earth. Beautiful. Bring your feet closer towards you. See if you can touch the backs of your heels with your middle finger. Keep them parallel. Keep them hip distance. So Jamie, yeah, you're okay. Beautiful. And then we're just going to lift the right leg. I'm going to just bring the ankle over the left knee. And we're just going to draw the right thigh away with our right hands and coming into a reclining pigeon. Can you flex the right foot? We're just really now bringing the energy down. And then we're going to thread the needle. So take the right arm through the middle, either underneath the knee or behind the thigh, and draw the legs towards you. And just rolling your vertebrae onto the earth. But can you draw your legs towards you? But can you at the same time, the dual action? We all live in this duality at the moment. So this dual action of rolling your knees towards you, but then extending the vertebrae to the earth. And then plant the left foot to the earth and take a twist over to the right. Your right ankle is still on the left knee. Can you maybe push and draw that left knee down to the earth? Take the arms wide, gaze over to the left. And we're just assisting ourselves with this twist. And see if you can really maybe draw that knee all the way down to the earth. And then slowly to release, come back to the center. Again, let's line up the feet, parallel, hip distance apart. Pick up the left foot, draw the ankle over the right knee. Use your left hand and just draw that leg away from you, opening into the hip flexor. Beautiful. Maybe staying here, but I know all of us can do this. We're going to just feed our hands through so that we can draw the legs towards us. Can you, in the same action, roll the vertebrae to the earth? Draw the legs towards you, but roll the vertebrae to the earth. Finding your deep stretch. Maybe your left elbow is pushing the left knee away. Really finding that gorgeous deep stretch. Take another deep breath. And then plant the right foot and draw the knees, your feet over to the left, exactly as they are. So the left ankle is still over the right knee, arms either side. Take your drishti, your gaze to the right. And really just roll both shoulders to the earth. And maybe you could just press the knee further down to the earth. And finding your deep stretch, what feels good for you. And then slowly back to center. Beautiful. And maybe we can take a happy baby here, taking the legs up to this earth, holding onto the sides of the feet or wherever is comfortable. Again, the dual action. Can you draw the knees down to the earth, but can you roll your vertebrae down at the same time? Can you draw your knees, bending your elbows, but can you draw the vertebrae all the way down to the earth? Flex the feet, bring your feet wide. And then slowly to release. Let's take the legs out in front. as we come into Savasana. You can put some layers on, or you can just really relax here to really take into the full breath of the practice. Extending the legs out. You really roll your shoulders underneath you. Take the frown away from the forehead. Take the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Coming really relaxing, really coming into peace and finding an anchoring to the earth. So we're in this gateway of eclipses. We've had one on the 5th of June, which was the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. We're now approaching the second one, the solar eclipse in Cancer this weekend. And then we have another really potent one on the 4th of July in Capricorn. It's another lunar eclipse. And this is the gateway for absolute transformation and change. This is where destruction comes. So rebirth will always follow. Trust in this process. A new dawn is rising, and we will all collectively, globally, really feel that as we start to enter into July. We'll feel the effects of these eclipses for some time, but it really is a tipping point for change. And we can really focus this attention in our own lives. This universal conjuncture is no coincidence. So I allow the inner fire and passion to lead, to let you set your intentions. Visualize what that looks like for you. And I invite you to consider, what is your new dawn? Slowly start to become aware of your breath. Following that as it rises and falls in your body. Becoming aware of the sound of my voice, every sound in the room. And slowly extend your arms over your head. Reaching from the fingertips to the tips of your toes. Big deep stretch as you draw your knees to your chest, rocking from side to side. And then, as we've been working with mainly the sun energy, let's all roll over to the right in fetal position. Let's take just a couple of breaths here. And then slowly coming back into your seated pose. Use your prop or whatever it is that you're seated on. Keeping your eye gaze low, keeping your eyes closed. And just allowing yourself to soften and really just allow the vibration of the practice to revolve around your body. Let's bring our hands to heart center. In prayer, let's do another prana mudra as we chant Om. So let's all inhale one last time today as we radiate out. Let's just stay here for a moment and maybe you can just breathe lightly here. And we'll come back to our sankalpa here, our intention, what it is that you want to burn and melt. What is it that you want to create and birth? Let the energy of the skies and the cosmos this weekend help you shift that. Maybe you can even come and do this mudra to the sun on Saturday and Sunday morning. Just ask it to work with you. That's all you need to do. Tune in and ask it. The universe is so generous and benevolent. Let's all inhale. We'll exhale with one arm, bringing our hands in movement to Swabhava at heart center. A moment of gratitude for each of you, for yourself, for showing up, waking up, and letting me experiment with this practice. A huge moment of gratitude for us collectively moving, practicing together. And a huge gratitude to my teachers in helping me manifest some of these movements and changes so that I can share them. With truth, love and compassion, have a great day. Namaste.